The mother had only taken her daughter to the restroom. When they returned to the supermarket, everything had changed. Shopping carts were overturned on the floor. The entire store was completely empty. Right then, Mary felt her foot step on something. When she looked down, she realized there was blood scattered under her feet. Mary quickly moved forward to see what was going on. The supermarket had been taken over by masked robbers. Mary hurriedly signaled her daughter to back away. Just then, one of the robbers dragged an employee in their direction. Mary had no choice but to hide her daughter under a shelf. She herself hid nearby to watch the situation. The robber suddenly began beating the employee. Seeing this, the daughter shook in fear. An orange fell to the floor, catching the robber's attention. The robber raised his gun and moved toward the girl. Mary quickly grabbed a can nearby. She threw it to distract the robber. The robber turned his gun toward Mary. Mary swung a bottle and smashed it at him. The robber thought Mary would be weak and easy to handle. He assumed he could control her easily, but unexpectedly, Mary moved like someone trained. The robber couldn't overpower her at all. Instead, he was knocked to the ground by Mary. After a struggle, Mary managed to grab the gun. The robber tried to take it back. But he was shot and collapsed to the floor. The daughter saw another robber approaching and warned Mary. So Mary pointed the gun and confronted the accomplice. Finally, police sirens sounded outside the supermarket. The accomplice quickly fled. Only then did Mary have time to check on the fallen robber. When she removed the robber's mask, "It's you." Mary's husband, Jack, was a doctor at the hospital. When he heard that Mary had been robbed, he immediately took her for a full medical checkup. After confirming she was fine, Jack finally breathed a sigh of relief. Mary mentioned that their daughter had also been frightened. Since there was a snack vending machine in the hospital, she told her daughter to go buy something to eat. Once her daughter was gone, Mary asked Jack about the robber's condition. She asked Jack to take her into the robber's ward. Then, using the excuse that their daughter couldn't find her way back, Mary sent Jack away. Now Mary could finally get close to the robber. Oh,
it's you, Kate. It's really you.
I don't know you. We've never met.
Liar. Liar. Liar.
Overwhelmed with emotion, the robber's wound reopened and he fell back into a coma. To Mary's surprise, the robber called her Kate. It was clear that there must have been a past between them. The next day, Mary went to work at the school as usual, but her husband's good friend Leo came looking for her. Leo was a police officer. He told Mary that her questioning at the station was scheduled for 2 p.m. the next day. Mary thought it wasn't a big deal and that Leo could have just called her instead. But then Leo took out his phone, saying the robber was skilled enough to destroy all the security cameras, except for one. He showed her the footage, and it was of Mary fighting the robber. He said Mary's way of fighting didn't look like something an ordinary person would do, as if she had been professionally trained. Mary didn't want to answer those questions, so she casually changed the subject. But what Mary didn't expect was that Leo would actually help her. During the questioning at the station, the inspector didn't even know about the footage. It was clear that Leo had kept it secret for her, but Mary didn't realize that wasn't the only way Leo had helped her.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
A music concert was happening at the school. Mary noticed a familiar face leaving the auditorium. When she followed into the hallway, she realized the woman was someone she knew from the past. The woman told Mary that when she saw her at the supermarket, she thought she had mistaken her for someone else. But now it was clear she had recognized her correctly. Mary was exactly the person she had been looking for. The woman said she didn't care about what happened before. She just wanted Mary to return something to her. But Mary insisted she didn't understand what the woman was talking about, and that she didn't have anything of hers. Hearing this, the woman didn't say another word and attacked her. The two of them started fighting right inside a classroom.
I'm not going to hurt the kid, but I'll have to take her with me. Otherwise, they won't believe me. I'm sorry. Stay away from her!
In the end, Mary overpowered the woman and killed her. Just when Mary thought everything was over, she realized Leo had seen the entire thing from the doorway. Seeing the woman dead, Leo didn't panic or ask questions. He simply told Mary they had 15 minutes to clean the room and deal with the body. After putting the body in the trunk, Leo drove Mary to a forest. They dug a hole and buried the body. Leo asked Mary if she wanted to say anything first.
What? Fuck you for this.
I meant a prayer or something.
Only then did Mary finally have the chance to ask Leo why he kept helping her and what his real intention was. Leo answered without hesitation. Jack was his brother. To him, they were basically family. Besides, he was in trouble himself. Leo had gotten involved with some dangerous people, and he hoped Mary would help him in return.
What if I don't want to help you?
The woman slammed herself wildly into a nearby car. The car alarm immediately went off. She quickly ran off to hide. A bald man walked out of the house. After noticing nothing unusual, he turned around and went back inside. Mary seized the opportunity. She followed right behind the homeowner as he entered. She followed him through the house. Finally, she found her friend Oak. But Oak was in bad shape. He had been tied to a chair and interrogated. Previously, after Oak helped Mary hide a corpse, he asked Mary for a favor in return. When Mary later met with Oak, Oak told her that he wanted her to infiltrate a lawyer's house. This lawyer was a high-ranking member of the mob. Oak could get internal mob intel through this. But since Oak's identity as a police officer was already known, the lawyer was on guard. So he figured a housewife like Mary wouldn't draw suspicion. Mary agreed to the deal. She made her way into the lawyer's office. She placed the external drive next to his computer. While Mary was copying the files, Oak suddenly called. He said the lawyer was coming home early. Mary needed to leave immediately, but the transfer was almost done, and she didn't want to abandon it.
No, Emilio, I just want this to be over and done
No,
with.
seriously. If he finds you, he'll kill you.
Mary hid just in time and wasn't seen by the lawyer. But the housemaid saw Mary and started screaming. Hearing the noise, the lawyer grabbed a gun and chased her onto the balcony. As he demanded to know who she was, Mary jumped straight into the sea. And that's how Oak got the data he wanted. But with the leak, Oak became the prime suspect. So the lawyer had Oak captured and brought here. Now, whether to save herself or to save her friend's life, Mary has to act. After a tough fight, the two of them finally managed to escape. Mary wanted to take Leo to the hospital, but Leo said he went on this mission without authorization. If his superiors found out, he'd definitely be dismissed. So Mary had no choice but to go to a pharmacy. She treated Leo's wounds there, but just as Mary was checking out, the lawyer suddenly showed up in the pharmacy.
Who are you? I'm very curious.
He said he had no personal grudge against Mary, but Mary showed up out of nowhere and injured his men and disrupted his business. So he was determined to find out who Mary really is. Mary tried her best to explain to him that she was just a housewife. Suddenly, a car rushed in and hit the lawyer, sending him flying. It turned out Leo was the one driving. With a situation like this, Mary had no choice but to take the lawyer's phone. But when she got home and turned it on, she realized the phone had been damaged from the impact. Mary couldn't be sure whether the lawyer had sent the photos to someone else. To find the truth, she had to keep investigating. What started as something small was turning into something huge. For so many years, Mary had only wanted to hide her identity and avoid being dragged back into the past. Now Mary was on the verge of breaking down. Meanwhile, in Farstead Prison in England, a woman stared intensely at a photo in her hands. In the picture were her and Mary, along with Mary's daughter. Clearly, Mary's past was anything but ordinary. At this time, cash was everything. As long as you had money, you still had a chance to start over. Kelly was currently on the run from hired killers, but her money had fallen all over the ground. She took the elevator downstairs while her pursuers ran down the stairs. Even after reaching the lobby, Kelly still couldn't abandon her money, so she hurried to pick up a few bills from the ground. Mary was speechless when she saw this. They were in the middle of escaping for their lives, and risking their lives over a few dollars was absurd. The two of them started sprinting down the street